Restoring Old Steam Toys, Part 4. New parts arrive from Forest Classics and I fit them to the engine, followed by a live steam test. Fitting a Mamod wheel driving band, so I can test run the engine up and down the bench. And finally, some very careful sympathetic repairs to the original paintwork. With a few very minor adjustments to the mechanism which I didn't show in any of the videos, the engine runs very well now. And here are the new parts. This is the scuttle which holds the burner. A really neat design idea with these Mamod engines is once the burner is in the scuttle, it all becomes the method for towing things behind the engine. For instance, you can buy a log wagon, but in this case the scuttle is just used to hold the methylated spirit burner. On an original Te1 Mamod engine, the whistle is different. But this is a bit of a hybrid. It says Te1 on the front, but it has the mechanism from a Te1A, so I also decided to use a Te1A whistle. I would think that during the change from Te1s to Te1A models, Mamod just used the parts they already had. I bought a new spring for the front axle because the original was missing, and because of this, the wheels scratched the smokebox. But now the wheels cannot touch the smokebox or the boiler because of the limited travel of the spring. A very simple idea, but unfortunately this spring just presses into position and it's easily lost. Here is the almost finished item. The addition of the whistle and the scuttle makes it look a lot better. I've tightened up the front axle so you can rotate it, allowing the engine to run in a circular movement. When you buy these brand new, there is an attachment that goes into the top of the chimney and allows you to steer it as you walk along with it. I never did think that was a good idea. And I felt very foolish when I took my old Te1 to school one day and I was using this. It was like taking a dog for a walk. The best way to fill these boilers is to use a very small plastic syringe. I'm using an old Mamod funnel and it's the only one that I have. The other good thing about using a syringe is you know how much water you're putting in the boiler. I'm filling the boiler via the funnel using some spring water. The only reason for this is I was drinking it at the time. Distilled water is better because it doesn't leave a residue inside the boiler, but really this will be fine. The time to stop pouring the water into the boiler is when it runs out of the hole at the back. Like this. And it's also a good idea to tip the engine slightly to get rid of a bit more water because of the meniscus effect. I don't expect this first run to be all that good really because there will be impurities inside the boiler, both owing to the engine's age and the fact that I put the engine in my ultrasonic cleaner. After 2 or 3 runs though, it should settle down. Time now for the exciting bit. Well, in a mild manner of speaking, I'm going to fill the methylated spirit burner. And with this I'm going to give you a massive word of warning. Do not overfill the spirit burner. The liquid needs to not be above the perforated metal. You will find when you fill these burners that you automatically put too much in. Look, this is a bit of a flood. The problem is if I light this and push it under the boiler, then it's all going to overflow and it will burn the bench and the engine and probably me. I used a cloth to soak up the excess and then moved the cloth out of the way. I lit the burner using a small blowtorch. And now for a health and safety warning. Caution! Once the methylated spirit burner is lit, most of the parts of the engine, including the canopy, will become too hot to touch. Be careful, even the wheels get hot as the axle runs through the flame. These small methylated spirit burners really do give off a lot of heat. You can see as the burner gets hot, the liquid starts to show in the top of it. As the liquid expands with the heat, and if it was full right to the top it would overflow. More modern steam engine toys use solid fuel pellets and I don't like them at all. They smell bad and they don't give as much heat. I can't say that burning methylated spirits is the best smell in the world, but it does remind me of my childhood, which is a good thing. The smell of solid fuel tablets is very pungent and the early ones were actually poisonous. I've just been oiling all of the moving parts. After a surprisingly short amount of time, there's some water appearing at the whistle when I pull the lever. It's not that the boiler's particularly over full, it's mainly due to something called priming. This will improve after a few runs. When I blow the whistle, quite a lot of water comes out, and then the engine slows down because the water is dropping the temperature of the burner. The burner hasn't gone out, and as you can see, when I put it back in, it soon recovers. Now the water level inside the boiler's dropped a bit, there's less priming. The whistle is very high pitched, almost like a dog whistle. Whilst drinking a cup of tea, I watched this engine run. With the steam coming from the chimney, it really did remind me of my childhood. All good things must come to an end, but not in this case. Please keep watching. I removed the burner and blew it out because I need to fit one of these. It's a driving band. The band screws together and it's a left-hand thread, so before you start, rotate the right-hand side part in a clockwise direction, then just screw it a couple of turns into the other end of the band, but don't forget it's a left-hand thread. Screw it in anti-clockwise. As I'm going to run this on the bench, I thought it would be a good idea to oil the other moving parts, such as the axles. I sat the engine on a wooden block, and to make it level I used a soldering iron stand underneath the front axle. I put a very small amount of methylated spirits into the burner, fitted it back underneath the boiler, and in no time at all there was enough steam to start the engine and blow the whistle. These days I turn my hobby into a small business. And I don't do a lot with Mamods, and I keep telling myself, don't be foolish, these are children's toys, but there's something good about them. It's incredibly powerful for what it is. Even if I hold it so the engine can't move, the rear wheel still rotates on the bench. And this is one very small, single-acting, oscillating cylinder doing all this, running on 10 to 15 pounds per square inch maximum of steam. The frequency of the whistle drives me nuts. It really starts to pick up speed. Mamod racing is definitely a viable option. Right, that's enough fun. I'm going to blow out the burner. Before I move on to the final part of this video, I'm going to show yet another health and safety warning. Even though the burner is no longer under the boiler, caution! Even after removing the burner, the engine parts remain very hot for a while afterwards, so don't burn your fingers. The burner's been out of it now for a while, and there's still nearly enough pressure to make it go and blow the whistle. But finally all of the steam disappears. The burner's been out of the model now for about 3 or 4 minutes, and the canopy is still too hot to touch. So once again, particularly if children are involved, keep their hands clear of this engine until it's thoroughly cooled. I left the engine on the bench for about 3/4 of an hour, because for the next operation I need it to be completely cold. I'm going to touch in the paintwork. And I think I can put a top tip time logo on this, because the way I'm going to do it is quite unorthodox. I'm going to use a Sharpie felt tip pen. I could use paint, that would be quite simple too. But for this job I think a felt tip pen will do the trick. Here I'm just touching in the top of the firebox, followed by the top of the chimney. It's not a perfect match, and sometimes you need to give it more than one coat. This is Humbrol satin black, and I suppose I could use this stuff, but the Sharpie did the trick. If you look at the earlier episodes when I'm showing this engine, you'll see there were quite a lot of marks on the smoke box and the chimney, and there were marks on most of the black parts. But now most of the major marks have gone. The damage caused to the smoke box by the loose front axle is more or less invisible now. Here's a before shot, and as you can see, the chimney and the smoke box were quite badly marked. But now the engine runs well, the paint looks better, and it has all the parts. And the job is now complete. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.